Welcome to another edition of Spooky News from Spooky Ventures. This one is the Spooky News for October 7th, 2022. We're drawing ever closer to Halloween, and if things where you are run like they do here, that means more and more signs of spooky season are showing up. As I've said before, for people like us, or what I like to call the spooky tribe, every season is spooky season. But it's nice to have the rest of the world in the same place, at least for a little while each year. Before I get to the news, I'd like to mention a few things. First, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also like our videos and share our videos. Please interact via comments, or even send us messages on the website. If you know of a spooky news item we should include in a future edition, or someone I should interview, please let me know. Also, don't forget, the YouTube channel is just one part of the Spooky Ventures experience. The main page lives at spookyventures.com, and we have merch available at cafepress.com/spookyventures. With that out of the way, let's get to the news for this week. Our first story is a spooky travel story. A new UFO museum is opening in Scottsdale, Arizona this fall. It will include the expected displays of artifacts and historical things, but it doesn't stop there. It also includes more memorabilia from television shows, a laser shooting game where you can hunt aliens, and another thing that really earns the spooky title for me. It will offer a simulation that allows you to experience what it would feel like to be abducted by aliens. The attraction is called UFO Experience, The Truth Is Out There, and it is set to open later this month. Next up comes a real estate listing for a home in New Hampshire. It's generating a lot of interest because of the pictures of the house. The realtor and homeowner decided, especially given the time of the year, that it would be fun to include Michael Myers in the typical pictures of the house. Now, I don't think he's in every picture, but if you look closely, he's in most of them. I bet there are a couple where I just didn't find him. It's almost like looking for Elmo, or Waldo, But he's there. Be sure to check the URLs section at the end of this video, because I'll include the link to the listing so you can see for yourself. Next, we'll turn our attention to music. The first music story is centered on the band Chat Pile. The group have released a new video for a song called The Mask. The hard-rocking tune is based on a true story of an Oklahoma killing spree that happened in the 1970s. Well, technically it's based on a book that's loosely based on the killings. And if that were the only connection, they would definitely deserve a mention in Spooky News. But they weren't content to stop there. The spooky video is very worthy of the Halloween season in terms of the visuals. And again, be sure to stay around at the end of this video to see all the URL listings. I'll include the one for the actual article that I used for a source, but I'll also include the URL for the video so you can see it for yourself. It's also been added to the Spooky Music Videos playlist on our channel. In another music-based news item, rapper Megan the Stallion showed herself to be ready for spooky season by posting a number of pictures where she has a pumpkin head, and she posted those to her social media. Now, I'm not talking some kind of Photoshop stuff, but literally wearing a jack-o'-lantern on her head as she's hanging out around her place. Now, I'm guessing it's a mask rather than a real pumpkin, just because of the logistics of the second option, but either way, it was a cool nod to Halloween time from a big-name artist. Turning our attention to television next, horror host Svengoolie is in the news again. I talked about him a couple weeks ago, and I said that I'm a big fan of the show that happens to share the name with him. I'm also a big fan of the man himself, who was brought to life by Rich Coase. The last time I talked about him, it was to mention that MeTV, where his show airs, was planning some special things for the month of October, somewhat making the month about him. One of the things I mentioned was his Svengoolie Uncrypted special, which aired on October 1st, and ultimately prompted this news piece, which is almost two items in one. During that special show, it was announced that Sven wants to expand the Svengoolie universe with some new blood, so to speak. With that in mind, they are taking audition tapes from aspiring spawns of Svengoolie. Details on how to send in your video can be found at Svengoolie.com, but it also brought some controversy on the internet. Lots of people on social media got the idea that this new contest meant that Coase was making plans for a replacement so that he could retire. As someone who belongs to quite a few Svengoolie groups on Facebook, I can tell you that the posts were everywhere there. It was so pervasive that the man himself had to take to social media assuring people that he has no plans to retire. The article I used for the source for this news item even quotes him saying the same thing. There is an old saying that a lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting it on its shoes, and it certainly seems to be true here. The rumors seem to be still persisting at the time I'm writing this. I'll take Coase's word on it, though. I mean, if anyone would know, it would literally be him. But in any event, drop by his site if you want to take part in the casting call, and if you do, I wish you good luck. Switching to movies, we're also back to rap music. Rapper 50 Cent has 3 horror films underway with his G-Unit film and television production company. The movies are going to be The Gun, Trackmaster, and Creature House. The Gun will be centered around a haunted gun that's found by a young man seeking vengeance after his father is murdered. Trackmaster will be a hip-hop based film in which a rap duo stumbles across and utilizes a cursed beat. In Creature House, a group of friends get trapped inside a horror movie museum. That's all the news items for this week, but as always, I have some calendar dates for you. I mentioned the Spooky Ventures site at spookyventures.com. You can always find our spooky calendar by going to that main page and scrolling to the bottom of the page. Our calendar is devoted to all things spooky, and those are the kinds of dates you'll find there. Looking to that calendar, 3 movies open today. Those are Dark Glasses, Don't Look at the Demon, and The Inhabitant. Now, I don't know much about any of those movies, but they are all opening today. Tomorrow, October 8th, we'll see Scream 2 return to select theaters in celebration of its 25th anniversary. That date is also Guillermo del Toro's birthday. Well, that wraps up this edition of Spooky News. Be sure to keep an eye on this channel. Again, subscribing would be appreciated. We'll have plenty of spooky content coming your way over the next week, and I should be back here 1 week from today. In the meantime, remember to always keep it spooky. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.